Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be talking about the real reason. The real reason that X keeps happening or keeps showing up in your life. What do I mean by that? We all have something, and most of us have a lot more than just one thing that we keep having an issue with. That thing that keeps popping up in our lives, that situation that keeps happening to us, the argument that we keep having with our spouse every 6 months or every year, or even the same problems with our clients or employees. Like, oh my gosh, how in the world do I have this same problem? Different employee, different client, but same problem, same relationship issue. Whatever it is, these things keep coming back and keep coming back. And sometimes we know we have a problem. We know we have an issue. We know we're bad with money, or we're not in tune with our health and we're not taking care of things. Sometimes we know. A lot of times we have no idea. And these things just seem to keep happening to us. But whatever your X thing is, and if you have more than one, which again, most people do, but let's just stick to one. Maybe you've tried to address it. Sometimes it goes one of two ways. A lot of times people will just try and ignore it, or they try and outrun it. A great way to outrun the things are to overwork, stay busy, just go, 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 so you don't have time to think about it or feel it or be bothered by it. Sometimes people will try and numb the feelings. Alcohol, drugs, food, whatever. There are other times, other situations where people are more proactive about it and they actually try and address it. They go to therapy, they maybe do business coaching, maybe they do some other coaching, they read books, and things might feel better, or they might even actually get better for a little period of time, but ultimately you find yourself back in the same situation. Oh my gosh, I did all of the things and I'm back in debt, or I'm back not making money, or I'm again hired that same damn employee. What the heck? And that's almost worse, because then we start to feel like there must be something fundamentally wrong with me. Like, I tried to fix it, I tried to do the things, and clearly something's wrong with me. So here's what's going on. The reason that the fixes haven't helped is because you're not getting to the real problem. There is a reason, a real reason everything keeps happening. It makes complete and total sense once you get to the real reason. And the real reason is never, ever, 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 ever what you think it is. Even if you know it's somehow related to your past or your parents or, some other event, I guarantee you it's not what you think it is. And here's why I say that. Because A, if it was what you thought it was, you would have solved it by now. It would be an easy fix, and you would have fixed it. And you haven't. Or it didn't stick. What's really going on is that generally we think that the issue is X, which is an intellectual issue. Oh, if I just don't spend money or don't get into debt or pay off my debt, then I'll fix my financial problems. No, you won't. You might temporarily, but until you get to the root, the real reason why you spend money the way that you do, or make money the way that you do, or have that relationship with money, you're not going to fix it permanently. Or even it might get fixed for a few minutes, a few months, maybe even a year, but you're going to go right back there. Same with relationships. Oh, I just need to get some training on how to manage people. That's generally not the issue. Or I just need, my spouse and I, we just need to get in counseling. Generally, when we're at that point, we're pointing the finger. They just need to do X, Y, and Z. My spouse just needs to do X, Y, and Z. The issue isn't intellectual. It's an emotional issue. And it is impossible, absolutely unequivocally impossible, to solve an emotional issue with an intellectual solution. You're not going to do it. You're absolutely not going to do it. That's why most therapies don't stick. It might feel better. It might help you through a crisis. It might help you with some coping strategies. But as far as fixing the underlying issue, most therapy is not going to work. That's why most books aren't going to work. That's why most coaching isn't going to work, especially like business coaching, because yeah, you can get some strategies, you can get some, doing things differently, but based on my nearly 30 years in practice, and most of that my own practice, and coaching hundreds of other attorneys, I can tell you that almost none of the issues that they're having in their practice have anything to do with strategies, or that they don't have information, or that they don't know the things. It's all emotional. They don't recognize it at first, but it is absolutely all emotional. And when we are not recognizing the connections there, when we are not recognizing, even down to simple, I ate that dessert, not because I was hungry, but because I was trying to regulate my emotions. If we don't make that connection, then we're going to continue the cycle of, I don't want to eat as many desserts. And then you find yourself shoving one in your mouth, and then you beat the shit out of yourself. And then you say, I just need to be more self-disciplined, or I just need to not have any desserts around me, or all of the things, until you see the actual connection. I'm trying to regulate my emotions, or I'm trying to feel a way that I don't feel. Why am I trying to feel that way? What's going on? Until you start digging down, you're not going to solve the problem. Another great example is personal finance. I can tell you, professionals are no better with finances than anybody else. And in a lot of cases, they're worse. And I used to have issues with personal finance as well. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I mean, I took Dave Ramsey's course twice. I knew what to do. I just didn't do it. And then I would just beat the crap out of myself and feel like something was wrong with me. What was wrong was I was approaching it as an intellectual issue. You make this amount of money, you save this amount, you pay this amount on debt, you don't get into more debt. I wasn't looking at it as an emotional issue. And it was 100% an emotional issue. Lots of different layers and facets of an emotional issue. I was setting myself up for failure time after time after time, and then I was shaming myself. There is no growth in shame. So much of the work that all of the work that I do is helping my clients layer by layer unpeel and get to the real reason. And it honestly doesn't take that much. And just this morning, I was reminded of the importance of this work, but that the real reason is never on the surface. There was a situation where I was interacting with someone, and one could look at his behavior and go, oh my gosh, that person's just being lazy and selfish and inconsiderate and just very dismissive of other people's feelings. Like, yuck. When you know what's actually going on, and when you know the backstory, not excusing behavior, but explaining it, when you see people the way I see them now, because of the work that I do and the training that I've had and the education, what I see is someone very different. I see an adult who still has a little boy inside of him who's scared to death, and who is using the only coping mechanism at this point that he has. And that's sarcasm, and that's putting up walls and joking and shutting down. There is a reason he is doing all of that. Just like there is a reason that you do what you do. Even if it doesn't seem to make sense. And especially when we do things that blatantly seem like self-sabotage, every single time it comes back to a reason. And it generally comes back to something really old. Really old. So whatever you're doing, whatever your issue is, that's really not the important thing. It really isn't. Now, you might be like, okay, that's crazy. I'm telling you, just bear with me on this. That's just a symptom. That's just the end result. What's really important is to start to, at this point, just be open to the fact that this is not an intellectual issue. Just even if you could consider that I might be right on that one, that it might not be an intellectual issue. You're smart. This isn't a problem of you being stupid. You're highly intelligent. If this was an intellectual issue, you would have figured it out by now. You wouldn't still be dealing with it. And it's easy to see this in other people, right? You'll have a friend who comes to you and they are complaining and telling you about the argument that they had with their spouse. And you're like, oh my gosh, we have this conversation like once a year. Why don't you just do X, Y, and Z? It's so simple. Because it's not ever about X, Y, and Z. It's never about X, Y, and Z. That's not what it's really about. So they could do X, Y, and Z, and they're still going to have the same argument, essentially, because that's not what it's about. In ourselves, it's a lot harder to see that. So let's give ourselves a little bit of grace on that one. It is harder to see in ourselves because we're so close. That's why coaching sometimes is so powerful, because we don't see it in ourselves. I have such a harder time seeing it in myself than I do my clients. Now, I have a much easier time seeing it in myself today than I used to, but I still have a more difficult time seeing it in myself than other people. But if you can just be open to the possibility that whatever you're dealing with, again, it doesn't matter. It could be something trivial, seemingly trivial, like, oh, I always seem to be tardy. Or it could be something really big, like, drugs or alcohol or big behavior. If you could just be open to the fact that it's not an intellectual issue, and you're never going to solve it with 10 easy steps. You're never going to solve it with, you know, a weekend of personal development, 10 years of personal development a weekend. You're going to have to deal with the emotions, because it's not going to go away. It's not going to get better. It only gets worse. These things do not heal on their own. They don't get better with time. That's not how it works. And if you're still watching this, good. That shows me that you at least care enough to invest 16 minutes into yourself and listening. So this isn't the time to, okay, well, let's fix it. Let's fix it right now. You'll get there. Just for now, just sit with the fact that this is deeper than you probably thought it was. And it's going to take feeling some emotions and just being open. So I'm just going to leave you with, if this was true, if this was an emotional issue, what does that mean? Where would that come from? And just see what bubbles up. But I can tell you the answer isn't in here. It is not in your head. You can't think your way through this. You cannot think your way through this. Just let the answers come up. Just for right now, just sit with the fact that this is an emotional issue. I don't care what it is. I do not care what it is. It's related to emotions. And it's probably a coping mechanism of some form. But that is the real reason that whatever's happening keeps coming back. Because it's not up here. The issue's not up here. The solution's not up here. The problem wasn't created up here. The problem is not you're not smart, or that you're just missing something, or you just don't have, you know, that information's in that book. The information's not up here. It's in here. It's in your gut. Okay? So I would just invite you just to sit with that for a little bit. Just be open to it. And the more that you're open to getting to the real reason, the faster you get rid of the issue. Okay, take care of my friends.